Welcome back to my channel. I'm Emmett the Artist. Now listen, I know that I've been not posting consistently at all. Life is crazy, and I'm just going to use this channel mainly to just get my opinions out there about comic book industry and entertainment industry in general. And I'm trying to find time where I can actually post my universe that I'm trying to build out. I'm still working on that. It's just so damn hard. You guys, you don't understand how hard it is to have a channel where you, at my age, when you have like other life priorities and you have to draw and you have to feed your family, go to work, do other things. Plus I have another YouTube channel that's actually monetized, so a lot of my energy goes into that. But this is still my passion project, which is art, comic books, and things like that. I love it. Now we're gonna talk about that that Deadpool Batman release and what's going on with that and what do I think about that. And also, first we're gonna talk about that Red Hood canceled book. Now listen, guys, and I made a statement when I was traversing Facebook, when this first happened. I was condemning people who were actually selling this for profit, because you're kind of selling this for profit. And I said this in my last video, I think, also, where you're selling a book based on somebody, like the reason why it's even trending or it's being hyped up is because somebody died and then somebody talked bad about that guy, right? So there's a death attached, a brutal death, whether you agree with the person or not, which I did not, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna go around and telling you how happy I am that the person is dead. No, I don't. That's not how things should be. But anyway, the sales were crazy when this news happened, right? When this actually was going on. Let me fix this damn thing again. Okay. When the news broke about that person's death, and when this writer, and I'm purposely not naming names. I think, not doing that. And people were like, oh, it's canceled because of this, then it must be this is gonna go skyrocket. And it did. Raw books are going for $37, $40, $50, right? And some books right now are still going like 1 in 50s and things like that. Are still going to like $200, $250. But the norm of those books back then, like a week ago, were like $400, $350, $375. But again, the normal covers, number ones were going for like $37, $40, things like that, $30, $35. Bro, in a week's time, the bottom has fell out. The 1 in 50s are now going like for half the price of a $200, $250 range. The ones 37 to almost $40, if not $40 number ones, regular cover, are now $20. I just saw two covers, the regular and another variant, finish an auction for almost under $30. Two books. Good on the actual shops that gave it away. Sellers and collectors who bought it because they wanted to see where it would go before the incident and haven't sold their copies. Good on you. But this is the comic book industry, and the culture has to change. We are always speculating on nonsense. It's a bubble, guys. I'm telling you right now, when you evaluate in a bubble, it just bursts. And this is what's happening. And I'm not mad about it. But that's what I'm going to say about that, because I think that's what should happen to this book. It should be kicked to the curb. It will always hold some value to some people, but I'm glad that it's falling, and everybody who thought that they will capitalize on the sale of in the purchase of this book for future valuation, that it is basically done now. And I'm happy for that, because people who try to profit off tragedy is insane. I don't know. That's just my take on it. But let's get to this Deadpool or Batman. Deadpool, actually, this one is Deadpool Batman. And what do I think about this? Well, this is what I think about this book. I'm kind of mad at myself because I had it in a cart in an online comic book shop before this all broke out, and I had the Ryan Stegman in there, a few copies, and I just didn't pull the trigger. And then the next day I woke up and it was like, they're all sold out. And I scoured the internet and I still found it for cover price. Even amongst like Ryan Stegman with the homage cover, that one's still going for $35. I bought it cover price. So they were still out there. And thank you to that vendor in that shop who could have pulled that book off the shelves, but gave the fans still a chance to get it and are not price gouging. Because I hate when they do that, especially when there were no limited. It was just regular orders you could covers you can buy, which is ridiculous. But thank you to those shops who actually have integrity. But what do I think about this book? Well, it was not that good. Here's what was good. Seth Wells wrote Deadpool like the movie Deadpool. And it was good. That part was good. The dialogue of Deadpool was good. Everything was good about that part, the dialogue of Deadpool. I liked it. No problem. I could tell they're going for the Ryan Reynolds version of Deadpool. And the Batman dialogue was Batman. My problem with it was it almost read like a 1960s Batman. Like the Joker has told you, Batman, that he has X amount of hours before he releases the toxic Joker venom, whatever. And, you think he'll do it? Like, he has already stolen all that he needs, all the things that are stolen, and he will do. Like, it just read like beat by beat, like this is the next thing, that leads to this, that. It was very, very predictable in that way, and written very old-fashioned in that way. And had they maybe said this is like a throwback crossover where it's like an old episode of the 1966, I would not have a problem. I would have been winning in that sense. But I don't know, maybe it was just me, but that's how Batman's dialogue and Commissioner Gordon and everybody else's dialogue was coming off as, and Deadpool's was Ryan Reynolds, which is good again. But okay, my other problem that I had is that when I heard Greg Capullo was on, I was like, great. Greg Capullo. I just dropped all my brushes on the floor because the thing is too close. And I'm not picking it up right now. We're going to continue. So Greg Capullo, when I heard he was on it, I was like, great. Greg Capullo, great artist. I'm going to see dynamic art. I'm going to see detailed art. I'm going to see gritty art. And it was the opposite. It was probably the weakest Greg Capullo I've seen since he debuted in the pages of X-Force. When it almost as if he took 8 steps back to that time. And if this would have been a new artist, or Greg Capullo's art was always this way, I wouldn't have a problem. But I've seen Greg Capullo on Spawn and on Wolverine, and that's a different Capullo. This is the Capullo, and people are gonna say, "Oh, it's the inker." No, it's not. I've seen pencils of this book, and while it's way better than I would ever do, it's not the Capullo that I thought would show up. And you can tell immediately that he referenced to draw Deadpool in the head, the skull shape, Ryan Reynolds. Like you could tell he looked at Ryan Reynolds and drew it as Ryan Reynolds, which worked perfectly with the dialogue. But it was very mediocre with Greg Capullo. If that artist was named any other name other than Greg Capullo, I would have been fine with it. The fact that it was Greg Capullo and that's the art I got, I was pretty disappointed. It was not at all what I thought would show up at the pages of such a. You're saying, like, and this is what I thought. Maybe Marvel thought too. Hey, we got this crazy crossover in many decades. It's Deadpool and Batman. Greg, you in? And you would think Greg would go, man, I'm gonna tear this ish up 8 ways to Sunday. And it didn't. He didn't do that. The best Capullo did not show up. I rather would have seen, like, offer Stephen Platt a bag of money. Bring it back to the 90s, right? Like, give him a bag of money. Hell, man, I would have even settled for Jim Lee. Give him a bag of money. But and have him for the first time he's working at he's doing a Marvel, but obviously he's doing DC, like he's doing covers of DC. But I'm just saying, like, I know Jim could never work, but yeah, I get it. But what I'm saying is, there's plenty of other artists you could have probably, if you knew that was what you're gonna get from Capullo, you could have got another artist. But they didn't know they were gonna get that from Capullo. I didn't know they were gonna get that from Capullo. I don't know if Capullo knew he was gonna do that to Capullo. It was such a letdown. It was like, oh, that's a kick in the nuts. I thought it was gonna be so much more art-wise dialogue wise. Again, Deadpool's dialogue did not disappoint. Everything else fell short of my expectation. I don't know what the DC version is going to be like. I haven't looked into who's doing it, who's penciling it, and who's writing it and things of that nature. But if it's, you know, the artists got to come with it. They gotta come with it. If they don't, I mean, what are we talking about? This is the biggest crossover. This is the biggest crossover since Spawn and Batman, and at least that one gave us the art. The story was trash. Capullo, at least in that crossover, showed up with some artwork. This one was so disappointing. But anyway, let me know down below, what do you think about this particular issue? That you have the same thoughts that I had on it? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully sooner than later. I'm gonna try to post more often. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video, and I'm out. Peace.